working with claims, evidence, and reasoning. For a lot of you, this is going to feel like a review, but we're going to take it to the next level this year with some argument. So the first debate that you're going to read is, would you visit the Titanic? If you would go ahead and open that article from here, pause the video for just a moment, and take some time to read the article, and then I will walk you through step by step. So now that you've read the article, would you visit the Titanic? We are going to dig in and identify claims, evidence, and reasoning. The reasoning, when we're getting into arguing and debating, is also known as the warrant. It means the same thing as reasoning, so it's the link between your evidence and your claim, but we're going to include that alternative vocabulary for you, which you would have been practicing in your Quizlet as well. So as you were reading the article, you should have noticed that some of the lines were highlighted in different colors, and you should have noticed that there were two sides to the argument. There was information about being against visiting the Titanic, and there was information about being in favor of visiting the Titanic. So we have the two opposing sides of our argument. And now we're going to take a look into the text. Let's start with being against visiting the Titanic. So we're going to look back at these highlighted lines. And first, I'm going to look for a claim that backs up that idea of being against visiting the Titanic. Which color do you think the sentence is highlighted as a claim being against visiting the Titanic? Hopefully, you are picking out this yellow highlighted sentence, but not everyone is thrilled with the idea of turning the Titanic into a tourist destination. So, that claim shows that they are against people visiting the Titanic. That's an assertion, which is another way to say claim. And now we're going to look for the evidence that backs that up. Which color do you think the line is that provides evidence against visiting the Titanic? With evidence, we are looking for proof. So hopefully you are looking towards this pink section. The reason that we would consider this to be proof is because we have a source here, National Geographic, and we have a direct quote from this fellow Edward Kamuta, the president of the Titanic Historical Society. It's always best when you're providing evidence that you have that reliable, credible source that we've been working on and talking about all year long. So National Geographic would be a reliable and credible source. A direct quote is always ideal. And so this is going to be our evidence that backs up that not everybody is thrilled with people visiting the Titanic, or they're against people visiting the Titanic. So our evidence is proof that backs up our claim. What about the reasoning or the warrant for being against visiting the Titanic? What's the link between the evidence and the claim? And for that one, we have this green sentence right here. Some say it's not respectful to those who died. So the reasoning for this one doesn't go into great depth or detail, but this does back up or connect this evidence about disturbing a gravesite. Why disturb it any further? Well, because that's disrespectful to those who died. So that's the link between my evidence and my claim. So what you're going to do once you have determined those, or you're welcome to click back and forth if that's easier for you, is you are going to then add the line colors. So my claim for being against visiting the Titanic was yellow. My evidence was in purple. And then my reasoning or warrant was in green. So you are going to then do the same thing for the side of the argument that is in favor of visiting the Titanic. And I'm going to let you complete that one on your own. So you're going to come back to the article, take a look at the remaining highlighted sentences, and determine the claim, the evidence, and the reasoning or warrant. Okay, hopefully that gives you some help through today's assignment. Again, feel free to reach out to me with anything. I will give you one little hint. As you get to the end of the assignment, there's going to be one article that provides anecdotal evidence instead of fact-based evidence. And you should have learned about that anecdotal evidence in your Level Up tutorial. So be on the lookout for that. There is a little hint on your document as well. When we talk about argument and debate, we typically want to go with that credible, reliable source. And anecdotal evidence doesn't really meet those criteria, but you are going to find one example in one of the later articles today.